Steph Curry signs his already worn shoes and hands them to a fan. In a show of great sportsmanship, the first thing this wrestler did after winning a match was to help his injured opponent get off the mat. When one of the drivers ran out of fuel in the middle of a race, a rival behind him gave him a push to the finish line. This skier caught sight of something strange far away and decided to take a closer look, which was very lucky for this woman, who was trapped underneath heavy snow and slowly running out of oxygen. They stay calm, and even luckier was that the man came prepared with a shovel to quickly dig her out and save her life just in time. A runner was just about to cross the finish line when his body suddenly couldn't take it anymore. Lexa. Give it up. Well, a few runners ignored him. This kind-hearted guy decided to lose a few seconds of his time to help him finish the race. This is what should be all about. After winning the match, this wrestler notices his opponent is injured and carries him so he doesn't have to walk. Oh, look at that. There's a show of respect if you ever needed to see one. That is truly a good winner. During a tennis match, one of the players missed out and injured his ankle. And his opponent didn't think twice before running over to help him. All this girl wanted for her 21st birthday was away from her favorite NFL player, but the kind player decided to also give her a pug from the game. Oh. That's so sweet. Indiana men's basketball senior Colin Hartman proposes to his girlfriend during the senior day ceremony speech, and she couldn't hold back the tears. Instead of starting an unnecessary fight, these players showed good sportsmanship by shaking hands and continuing the match. Justin Garland had always dreamed of doing the impossible and beating the legendary Usain Bolt. Justin Gatlin is the world champion here in London. And when he finally succeeded, his respectful reaction speaks for itself. Individual race runs 9.95 seconds for bronze. An Army veteran carries his guide and the American flag across the Boston Marathon finish line. This cameraman accidentally almost broke Usain Bolt's $1 million legs. He could have had to answer fraud in court, but instead they became friends. In the first heat of the men's 500m, there were just 2 athletes left on the track. Aruba's Jonathan Busby was suffering from exhaustion on the last lap, staggering on jelly legs. But luckily, with only 100 meters to go, his fellow competitor was on hand to help and held his arm around his neck to assist him further, as the crowd cheered his selfless act of generosity and sportsmanship. That is what sportsmanship is all about. When this team tragically lost one of their members, they all made him score a final goal before being buried and leaving forever. Purifying crash. During the Formula 1 Australian Grand Prix, driver Gutierrez instantly runs over to check on his competitor. Oh my goodness. Miraculously, they were both unharmed in the horrible accident. And here's the heartwarming moment when player escort Paulina, who's in a wheelchair, accompanied Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch ahead of Portugal's game against Russia, a moment this young girl will never forget. A baby born without a hand meets soccer player Carson Pickett, who's just like him. Now, the adorable boy knows that even with the disability, he's still able to succeed in anything. Famous football player Neymar promised to recreate a goal celebration for a little boy with cancer, and he certainly kept his promise. A young fan wanted to get a photo with Lionel Messi, but the security guards wouldn't let him through. But when Messi saw the crying boy, he couldn't just walk past. Security stopped this young fan, who ran out on the field to take a photo with one of the soccer stars. But watch as the player rushes to the boy's defense. In the last Olympics, Derek Redmond had to withdraw because of injury. Now 4 years later, he was finally able to compete for the dream of winning a medal. But just as he started running, his right hamstring snapped, and his Olympic dream was over. But even though he didn't win, his determination to at least pass the finish line will live forever in the minds of millions.